Yo, girls and guys, welcome back to the channel. I was gonna do another commentary, but I got to thinking again. You know me, always thinking. And I've been watching like history of the Fire Emblem franchises and like um, trying to like fill in the gaps for some of the gaming time in my life that I feel like I missed out on. In a weird way, I think some of the problems that I created in my mind in the last few years, a lot of it came from somehow like losing that childhood passion for video games in a way. Whether it was fear of life or it was the time of learning for me, or I don't really know why, you know. It's never really easy to tell, like when all of a sudden you like something and then the next moment you feel like everything's going away, nothing's the same anymore, nothing's fun anymore. The things you thought were for you don't feel like they're for you at the moment for some reason. You know what I mean? There's so many weird little nuances to being a human and trying to love your life that people don't really delve into a lot of the times, I think. But I'm glad to be back in the gaming community. I feel like, you know, my heart's there again in a way. I know it's corny to say, but that's the truth. I'm not saying I didn't try the last few years. I obviously tried quite a bit more than most people, but what I'm saying is like there was just too much doubt, too much fear of trying new things, too much nostalgia trapping me in the past, too much lack of faith, you could say, as well. On top of doubt, on top of fear, there was also a presence of lack of faith, you know? Like that childhood faith I used to feel, for example. This is a good example, I think. That childhood faith I used to feel in the 90s and the early 2000s and even in the early 2010s, where I would like, I knew life was hard, school's hard, work's hard, taking care of yourself's hard, getting older's hard. But I always stuck through some of the hardest times I felt, and I stuck through them, and I always remained hopeful for new video games and hopeful for new things in my life down the road and hopeful for new relationships and hopeful for my current relationships to get better and prosper. And I just started to vividly remember those feelings that I don't really feel like I felt through my 20s, you know? I feel like those were mainly in my teens and my childhood. And there was key moments in my 20s that definitely had that. But a lot of times it didn't feel like it was coming from me. It was just like the world gifting me a girlfriend or the world gifting me a great family. So I just had good times because my family cared about me, or it was this or that. It was never like when I was a teen or a kid and that shit came from inside of me, you know what I mean? Heck W. No, I'm just kidding. But in a weird way, like that's what's happening now again, you know? I feel like that childhood spirit to give it your all and have some damn faith and believe there's a present and a future there for you, you know, instead of constantly feeling like every day is you might as well just give up. Oh, you're done. You know what I mean? That shit can happen, and whether it's a bad person in your life does it to you, a scary situation, trauma, so many things can cause that, I feel like. Even just loneliness. getting addicted to bad habits, all those things conjoining slightly against you, and it all adds up, and it's not slight anymore, you know? It's actually a big weight on your shoulders of a lot of different things. You name it, there's so many untouched, untalked about faculties that affect humans, especially from the ages of 20 and beyond. You know, I'm not saying little kids don't have it hard, I'm just saying those things are different when you're an adult, and then only an adult, a true adult would know about that, you know? But anyways, so on to less adult things. I've just been really motivated for the last couple weeks. I've been up for mostly like 18 hours every day. Most of the time grinding videos and researching history of video games and stuff. It's just been an interesting time in my life. Some would say a waste, but it's feeling more beneficial to my heart and more beneficial to my spirit in life than most things I've ever done in my entire life. So, you know, that's my argument. Call it just video games or call it whatever lazy shit you want to call it, but if it was just that easy, then everyone would be doing it, you know what I mean? I'm just making an actual hard lifestyle look like it's lazy and easy, you know? A lot of people are doing that. Deserve some more fucking credit. Got an interesting, like, stormy weather day. I love myself some good stormy weather. It's where I thrive the most. But yeah, I could go on and on about, like, the weird, because it was weird. It felt like I was pretty much never gonna play. Felt like I was on my last legs when it came to video games and stuff like that, and especially towards the end of last year. Felt like, man, all I got is a little bit of time playing Halo left, and then I'm just fucking done with these things. Like, I couldn't really explain why I felt like that. I didn't say it out loud. I just looking back, that's just how it was, you know. I don't even know if I noticed it or why it was happening. It's weird. Yeah, like I was saying, it felt like I was never gonna be into fighting games again. It felt like there wasn't a place for me in the world. That's probably the best way to say it. And it's frustrating now looking back because it's like the place was there all along. You know what I mean? It's like you do enjoy the fighting games, and the more I grow up, the more I enjoy it for the community and the mutual love of the game and the excitement of future games and the excitement of the grind. Like, all those things matter to me more than when I was a kid and when I was a teenager. All that mattered was, like, being the best, beating my friends, beating my sibling, beating my cousin, beating people, making sure I couldn't fail. It was like these weird delusional fear thoughts that attack us when we're young, you know? And I had no clue what I was dealing with, really. Dark shades of my own inner workings. And then, yeah, that's just how it's been lately. But also, one last thing I wanted to talk about before I really get into the gameplay and hop off the mic. And that would be this feeling I noticed when I was playing Smash Bros. Because when I was playing it and I turned it on, it was weird. Because it was weird. No, I'm just kidding. It was weird because it just felt like it was 2017 for a second. And then the next second it felt like it was 2019 and my nephew still lived with us. And then all of a sudden it felt like it was, you know what I mean, 2020 and me and my nephew were playing Smash Ultimate for the first time together, and you know what I mean? It was just this weird feeling And then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, why do I even care so much about that time? Because back in that time, there was no, I couldn't care about anything. I had lost the love of my life. I was just really lost in life. I could barely enjoy my family, could barely enjoy my nephew. Couldn't enjoy anything really. Pretty much was just killing myself because I was so hurt from losing the love of my life and stuff. And other reasons that was just, you know, the catalyst, one of the biggest ones. Obviously, even if I didn't have that relationship or any of them that I had, I would have went through something else, or just life in general would have been hard at some point for me too. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, and then I kind of, and it's like, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, I wish I could go back just for a day and teach myself a lesson back then about how no matter how bad you think a time is in your life, there's going to be a time in the future most likely where you look back on those days and envy them. And you could say regret, but it's not always even that. Sometimes you go into the future and you feel like you're reliving those days, whether you like it or not. Sometimes it feels good, but then it's, at the same time, it's, and that's why I made this commentary, it's like, as good as that feeling is, you can't get lost in nostalgia, you know what I mean? So anyways, my main point is, like, after being, like, thrust back into the past for a second and remembering all those feelings and wishing I had more of a connection to the video games and to my nephew, that and we had more love for that community. You know, that might not ever be true for him or whatever, but it doesn't change the fact that those are the memories that we had together, and I like those memories, you know what I mean? So in a way, I'm trying to say, like, I'm still, even though my nephew probably he's growing up fast, he's growing up faster than I ever did, and I don't think he's ever going to be like a gaming kid. But that doesn't change that whenever I play the games, I still feel like I play them for him, you know? In a way. I feel like all of the drive I have to play for the rest of my life comes from those memories with him and other people in my life before that and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's weird. It's like, in a way, I'm still playing with all those people, even if I'm not, you know? And that's kind of what I've been going through the last few days. And I'll most likely get all the Smash DLC characters that I don't have. Especially if I think his name is Byleth. If he's from Fire Emblem, I'm assuming. I don't even know. I don't really care if he's even in like a clone character. I'm still gonna get him if he is. Because, well, one, I love Smash Ultimate, and now I want to give all the Fire Emblem characters a chance. And I kind of want to give Nintendo a little bit of money so they fucking make the next Smash Bros. So I can get all hyped about that. Just kidding, but you know what I mean. I want to support the Fire Emblem community in a little bit of a way. Whereas before I was like, why the fuck do I care about Byleth? I don't even know who that is. I'm not even sure if he comes from Fire Emblem. He could come from fucking Xenoblade for all I know. I can't even really tell you why. Like, yeah, I was mad at Nintendo after the Wii and the Wii U. I guess that's the reason. That's actually a really good reason, but I think that's the reason why I didn't check out Fire Emblem, and I just instantly pretty much discounted anything from Nintendo. I was just so fed up with the Wii, so mad that, because I was a GameCube fanboy, you know what I mean, and even a 64 fanboy. I don't care if some people look at that system as a failure. I was a 64 fanboy. There's a lot of good games on there. And it was just like, when I first seen the Switch, I was like, okay, so this thing costs more than like the Wii and the Wii U did. It's in a little tablet, so I assumed it was not very powerful, but it actually was pretty powerful for the time. It does still have some shortcomings because of it being a little tablet, though, which sucks. Especially for when they make games like Splatoon and Smash Bros. Shit that's like really, can get really competitive. It's just like, why would you want that on that hardware? You know what I mean? Like, the people playing it would all fucking buy an upgrade system or like a home little Switch box. Costs like $300 and it's a little bit more powerful than, you know what I mean? Like, anyone would do that. Even people who don't play those games would do that, obviously, but so maybe they'll, I think my thinking is they're gonna have a solution to that for the next either Switch 2 or whatever the hell the next thing is. It's gonna be like the first time, this is my guess, it's gonna be like the first time they don't just like make a whole new console. You know how like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, but it's like GameCube, Wii. It's like a new thing, you know? I feel like this is gonna be the first time where they just like stick with the Switch, you know? I don't know why, but it just, that's how it feels. That's probably a pretty safe guess, honestly, because the Switch kind of went mainstream for a while. It probably is still considered mainstream, even though, you know, I'm not a little kid in school anymore, so I don't really know how many people care about the Switch and stuff. Maybe it's more than I think. But, yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be the Switch 2, or if it's not called the Switch 2, it's gonna be like works with the Switch, you know, like games for the new console. Some of them might work on the Switch or something, or like Switch games work on the new one, or so I feel like that's what they're gonna do. Or there's like two versions, and one's like a home unit, and one's like the second version of the Switch. Something like, I feel like, and you can like link them, so you could have the home unit, and you could buy the Switch tablet itself too. Like, I feel like they're gonna come up with something that makes sense. Even though Nintendo's fuck ups in a lot of ways, I feel like they do a good job once in a while on. When they've gotten some good feedback, I feel like they do a good job of after that. Make up for the stupid ass like Joy-Con rails and the fucking stupid ass dock and the no option for a home console. There's a lot of people. I don't think I'll ever play. I don't like playing. That's not how I play games, you know. I just don't play it like that. I'm not saying that's fine if you want to play portable games like that. It's just not how I do it. I was like, when I was a kid, I liked my Game Boy Advance and stuff, but I probably would have played all that shit on the fucking TV if I could have, you know? Who wouldn't have, you know? Like, who wants to crank down their fucking neck and look down at a fucking device all day? I don't care how much you want to play Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, it's fucking annoying. You gotta like flip on your stomach and hurt your neck, and then you gotta lay on your back for a while, and you gotta go sit in the family's recliner for a couple hours, and then you're sore from that, and then you gotta eat. That's how that shit goes. Otherwise, oh, you can just sit down and play a game. Stare at the TV screen. Works fine. Almost no detriment compared to holding a tablet in front of your face all the time. But yeah, that's just some thoughts about the Switch and all the games I'm getting into, and some of the changes for the channel and stuff, and been a pretty good, you know, besides my back getting hurt and stuff, that sucked, but other than that, it's been a pretty good summer so far. I want to make the rest of it even better. You know, I had a lot of dark times in my life in the last 7 years, and I'm just grateful that this year and the last 2 years have been a bit better. But yeah, that's most of the stuff I've been going through. I'm gonna keep up the Fire Emblem grind. It's probably gonna take me another month or two to finish all these fucking games. And then we'll be doing a lot of shit after that. Like, the moment I'm done with all the Fire Emblem games, it's gonna kind of blow up on my channel in some ways. It's gonna be like Japanese art, Fire Emblem art, fan game researching how to be a low-level game designer, PS5 games, Final Fantasy 16, Nier Automata. It's gonna be kind of crazy the second I finish the Fire Emblem game. Probably, you know, I'll be done with most of the Fire Emblem games, so I'll probably like want to play some Final Fantasy Tactics or something, so I can get some of those vibes. Keep the vibes rolling after Fire Emblem, you know. Probably do some fan research, you know, see what I can find out about the future of the Fire Emblem series, and the future of the Smash Bros. Series, and the future of Rivals, and, you know, the future of some of the fighting games that are coming out. Street Fighter 6, Blazing Strike, stuff like that, the League of Legends fighting game. Just like all types of things, and that'll be on the channel. I'll either be talking about it or making videos about it. Rivals 2, I feel like, I remember when I used to talk about Framemakers, and I thought I was gonna like be into that game, and then I'm actually gonna do some research after I make this video and see like what type of Framemakers content is getting put on YouTube and stuff, just to see if that game has any life in it. I don't think it's a bad game. It might actually be way better than what people are like. It might be as good as Rivals. I don't even know. But what I'm saying is, even if Framemakers never works out for me, I'm still gonna, like, for almost no reason, just go super fucking hard on Rivals 2 because I believe in that game, you know? Why do I believe in Rivals 2? Well, Rivals 1 is fucking sick. Smash Ultimate is now, like, not exactly sure when that game came out, but it's roughly, what, like, 5, 6 years old? I don't even know. Might be 7. I think it was a 2018 game, but I don't really know. I just feel like we're on track for the next Smash Bros. Game, probably in the next 4 years. Like, there's almost no way Nintendo doesn't make some sort of Smash Bros. Content in the next 4 years, because that shit is... Say what you want about that game, or some people hated that game, but that shit's still fucking popping, so that just shows you that it was a good game, you know what I mean? Yeah, air dodging is fucking annoying, and air dodging needs a fucking cooldown. Like, you shouldn't just be able to spam air dodge every time you get hit up in the air, but that's like the biggest problem with the whole game, you know? If you fix that, and you fix some of the input delay, input lag, the game would be one of the best of all time. It already is one of the best of all time, but it would be even better than what it is. So I would say it's probably better than Melee, just because Melee is like, there's so many situations where you just can't do anything in Melee, whether it's because people are abusing tech, or they're abusing L canceling, or they're abusing something. That's why most people quit that game eventually when they play against good players, because they're like, oh, it's not really about getting better at the game at this point. It's about who can throw the most bullshit your way. Who can throw the most bullshit out of each other. Lame each other out. And once you realize that's what a lot of people turn that game into, it's like, oh, Well, if we're gonna play such a fucking thinking man's game, I'll just go play Smash Ultimate. It's got combos too that are technical and fucking sick, so. But yeah, the game definitely needs like an air dodge cooldown thing. Or something like some sort of stamina thing against defensive tactics, so you can't just continuously like roll over. You know. They could probably just fix the wave dash a little bit so it's a little bit less clunky and a little bit more functional. It doesn't even have to be as good as Melee, it just has to be a little bit less clunky. They could be like, oh, we're not trying to make a wave dash. Well, it's a mechanic in the game and you guys have it there, so. And then do stuff like make parries act more useful. Because it's like, otherwise, why would you even want to risk going for something like that, you know what I mean? Or maybe they are they are useful for some characters, I don't really know, but I watched a lot of pro matches so far of Smash Ultimate. And I just like never see them, they're not like parrying into full combo and killing a guy, you know what I mean? They're usually just sprinting back and forth, hopping on the platform, repeatedly fishing. And then ledge guarding as best they can. Not saying they're not good and they don't know some cool tech and stuff, like, they definitely do. I think they're pretty fucking sick when I watch them. I'm just saying. It'd be like if the pro players didn't use bursts and cancels in Guilty Gear or something. And they do. So why aren't parries more of a thing? But I gotta do some research, maybe I'm completely wrong, I don't know. Just, that's what I've seen so far. And I have seen some sick parries, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've seen Hungrybox, like, parry into, like, some sort of sleep rest or some shit. I don't even know what the fuck he does. Rest read bullshit after a parry and stuff. On some big-ass character that's about to finish him with one move. And I mean, I'm not saying he's bad, but if a guy who's clearly... He's not killing himself to be the best is what I'm saying, you know what I mean? He's obviously pretty great at the game for somebody like that. And it's just cool to see how much fun he can have, even as somebody who grew up with Melee, you know what I mean? And yeah, you could be like, well, he's just doing it because he's got a community in Smash Ultimate. And yeah, that's probably true to an extent, but it's also like, where else is that community, you know what I mean? You're not gonna feel that type of love and connection and inspiration in the Melee community. Not gonna feel it in a lot of different places. But there, yeah. A newer game with more people, more kids, more of a future. You're like, when you're playing Smash Ultimate, you're clearly not just playing Smash Ultimate, you're playing a platform fighter that is basically the basis for all the future platform fighters. And it's a very underrated game by, like, Melee fans and stuff. And old school fans. I was even somebody who underrated it, because I didn't understand what was good about it. And then... you know what I mean? It's like how when I play Halo 3, I don't really feel like I'm playing Halo 3. I just feel like I'm playing Halo, you know? I just feel like I'm playing a shooter for the future. And maybe I'm not playing my favorite arena shooter right now because Halo 3 is kind of dead, so it's hard for it to be my favorite game anymore. But it still feels like I'm playing for some reason, you know what I mean? Whether that's some future Halo game, or that's a future competitive game, or that's a future shooter, or whatever, you know? Future Halo 3 down the road. Changes come to the game or something, who knows? But when you're playing Melee, it's like, why the fuck are you playing Melee? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying the pros can be pros, and then the good players who want to be good, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, like, if that's not the case for your situation, it's like I don't think it's that fun, you know. That's coming from a guy who can combo the shit out of a fucking ranked player. You know what I mean? I'm not that good at the game, but when I'm heated up, I can play like an amazing player. So it's like, that's coming from somebody with at least that much experience. You know what I mean? Somebody who played the game and loved the game from basically the year 2002 and onwards. Actually wanted the game before that and fanboyed over it, which I would argue makes you better in the long run. I feel like that's the reason why I'm so into Halo. It's because I wanted to play it for so long before I ever got my hands on it. And then the last thing I want to talk about before I just hop into this short little Fire Emblem video. No, I lost track of what I was going to say, but whatever. Yeah, I'm really excited for Rivals, and yeah, we're playing Smash Ultimate and all these fighting games, not just for them particularly, because they are great games and everything, but also for the future, you know? I want to hop back into Rivals of Aether for like a couple months before the new game comes out, and then when the new game comes out, I want to take it seriously and play some online matches and play with my nephew if he comes around, and you know what I mean. Make a bunch of videos, like somewhere between 50 and 150 videos of gameplay and learning and tournament talk and stuff, and you know, and I wish I had gotten into the normal Rivals of Aether earlier and followed the community and stuff, but it is what it is. You know, can only do so many things. Because I do think even that little pixel art game is great. I don't think it's as in depth as a nowadays platform fighter should be, but at the same time, it's probably the best pixel art platform fighter we're ever gonna get, at least for a long time. And by the looks of it, it looks like they're making Rivals 2 to basically be Smash Ultimate fused with Melee, fused with Rival. I don't know if there's wave dashing still. I'm assuming they would still have some sort of dashing because they had it in Rivals of the Aether. They might go the Smash Ultimate route and make it more based on like tech and combos and neutral and dodging strats and stuff like that, you know. Using specific moves that have animations that dodge and using specific moves that dash in and that type of normal fighting game stuff. Spacing. But even in Smash Ultimate, like, dash dancing is a thing, you know what I mean? Just because you can dash dance faster in Melee doesn't mean it's a better game, is what I'm saying. That's coming from a guy who considered Melee way better, basically from 2015, or basically since Brawl all the way up until like 2 years ago. I basically considered myself like someone who was never going to play anything but Melee, you know what I mean? And then after all that, oh, I don't actually feel like Melee, I don't have the most fun playing it, you know what I mean? I feel like you could argue that a lot of other fighting games are just as cerebral, just as technical, even more satisfying with their combos. Harder to make reads. You can't just wave dash at the guy and spam your fucking hitboxes. You actually have to pay for your mistakes a lot of times. And when you make a big read and it works out and it was a correct read, you actually feel like you're progressing instead of you're just spamming tech skill over and over hoping something good happens. You know what I mean? That's how it is. That's really how it is. I'm not even like trying to bash Melee. I think Melee is awesome. Fucking love pillar comboing and shine fucking aggression with Fox, and I love all that shit. It's just, it's not like the game there wasn't like iterations of the game getting released every 5 years and they were constantly adding new characters and upgrading it in making the wave dash mechanics and fixing things. It wasn't, you know, if it was like that, I would probably love the game more than almost any other game ever. But because it's not like that, it just feels like we're all too excited about tic-tac-toe and checkers, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Melee was amazing, but sitting there dwelling in the past is fucking stupid, that's all I gotta say. It's one thing, like, you're trying to speedrun Mario 64 and get a good time. Yeah, you got your time, 52 minutes, whatever, 50 minutes. You're happy with that? Fun. That's great. You went back for the right reasons. You know what I mean? It's another thing, you're going back, clawing for the past, hoping that some past game or some old thing is going to be your forever saving grace for the rest of your... It's not going to... You know what I mean? I just feel like that's what people do, and they don't even admit that's what they're doing. But anyways, that's some of the stuff I was thinking about. So sorry to talk your guys' ear off, and probably be a while before I do a commentary unless something new pops up. Something surprising. So I'm kind of mad at this game right now, because I put all this fucking work into my ninja, and they fucking killed him. I'm assuming he's gonna come back, and he's okay, but... For now, I'm mad. Because he was just... I tried so hard to get that fucker leveled up, because he had such a shit defense. And I felt like I used him so well, and now they fucking killed him. I had a feeling something was gonna happen to somebody, because they kept, like, alluding to your different characters on your team were, like, dying and shit. They're, like, sick, and they're, like, about to turn into a zombie and stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna play for very long. I'm gonna shut off the mic, but I'll catch you guys down the road. You know, I already told you what most of the summer is gonna entail for my channel and stuff, and I really don't see it going any other way. Yep, I got the new Fire Emblem 3 Houses coming my way, and then I'm assuming I'm gonna love the shit out of that game, and I hope I like it as much as this game or more than this game, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I do kind of hope weapon durability is back, or something is at least changed from this game. Like maybe the double pairing system's gone, or maybe... Not because I hate something in this game, but it's just like, I like when it changes every game. It still has to be a good change, obviously. Like, it can't be shit. I don't want to go back to Fire Emblem fucking 1 on the fucking NES and all my characters die in one hit and shit, or whatever the fuck, how hard that game is, I don't know. But it feels like they really do a good job with Fire Emblem, like, where every game is, like, very significantly not only upgraded, but also changed and innovated on. Let's see. Sometimes these battles, like, change. Okay, they didn't change this. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but... so sometimes I do a few of these battles. I'm not going to do too many of them, because I feel like they make the game too easy if you did any more than I do. And obviously I could use a fucking master seal on all my characters and make them all overpowered and shit. I don't care about that. I'm trying to play the game with at the perfect skill, or at the perfect difficulty, custom difficulty that I set for myself, basically. But yeah, I'm just gonna go in the other room for a sec, check what's smelling so good in there, and see if anyone wants a smoothie soon, and then I'll play a battle or two here, and then I'll be back with a bunch more content down the road. So thanks a bunch for tuning in for the commentary, guys. Only the best! Sally Slices on YouTube. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I was putzing around with Smash Ultimate off recording for a little bit on this $23 Chinese Switch Pro controller, and it's actually pretty fun. I don't think I'll ever take it serious, but I might learn it just to try to get better on the box, if that makes sense. Because I feel like when you learn a game on a second controller of some kind, it always makes you better. Happened with Halo for me. Happened with when I thought I couldn't really get any better at Halo. It happened. Happened with the box controller. It got way better on Smash Bros. Than I ever was before. On Melee, I should say. Just like pillar comboing like no tomorrow when I was never really even that good at it on controller. Stuff like that. Now I haven't played Melee in like almost a year or something. I don't even remember the last time I played it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys down the road. Enjoy the rest of the Fire Emblem shit. And hopefully Hollow Knight news soon. You know, obviously I'm going to be a fanboy speedrun gush baby about that game. You'll hear the word Hollow Knight Silk Song and fucking... what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. Hornet. That's her name. You'll hear me talking about that fucking game like crazy, I'm sure. Probably be like 20 fucking commentaries talking about that shit. I'm assuming it's going to be like a September game. That's what I'm putting my guess on. Like September or October maybe, but we'll see. So yeah, catch you guys down the road.
What's this? Fortune favors me. Well... Phew. Here I come.
Please, take your time. Many thanks.